You probably heard of RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. It's not the most sexy topic in AI right now, but it actually might be the most useful one. The problem is, RAG is kinda dumb. It just dumps more context for your AI model to work with, and that's useful. But I found a way to make it way smarter by letting Jarvis control the whole damn thing. I'll give you a demo first, and then I'll explain how it works. So I take a lot of notes, hundreds, but I have a problem with them. I never actually read them. It's a write-only system for me. So what I did, I put all of them into a vector database and I will let Jarvis search it however he desires. This will create something called Agentic RAG. Let's see how it works. First, let's make it more complex. So here's an imaginary interview in my calendar. I have some notes for the interview. The company is not real, but I imagine since they are doing tech support AI, some RAG might be involved. And also maybe they are doing fine-tuning for human-like interactions. Let's go chat with Jarvis. I have this question prepped. Hey Jarvis, I think I have an interview later on today. Look at it and then check my notes. Do I have anything related to tech-wise? This answer involves so much happening under the hood, yet it took 3 seconds on my local machine for Jarvis to check when is my interview, read my notes for that interview, come up with a question to the RAG system, and we don't even know what he asked at this moment, right? And then gather all the results and give me a meaningful and satisfying answer. This is seriously impressive. I'm still so early into this, but the power of agentic AI just keeps blowing my mind. And look at this. Jarvis formatted the links to the note in the way where I can just click on them and open within my own system. Okay, this is not a good note. It's just me ranting about character AI. Let's check the other one. Yeah, this one is much better. You can see from URL it's coming from one of my research sessions with ChatGPT. So they implemented this RAG in the medical field and it showed some promising results. Although we can also click on the link to study, and yeah, it's maybe not that great since they only did 30 participants, and I don't think they asked doctors what do they think. But yeah, this might be useful for my upcoming interview. Look, there are still quirks. After I asked Jarvis for more notes, it gave me the same one, pretending it's a different note. But we'll tackle this later. I can ask follow-up questions, so that's probably not a very useful answer. I also tried rephrasing a question to give me more notes, and this answer is actually the most useful so far, since I need to fine-tune Jarvis soon because the size of my system prompt is getting out of hand, and Jarvis is losing some stability he used to enjoy in the early days. These guys did something similar, by the way. They fine-tuned a model to control some Spotify-like app, it seems. And they used Phi model from Microsoft, and they used Apple Silicon, which is very useful to me since I want to train my models on Apple Silicon as well. Look, even Jarvis agrees this is the best note so far to help me prep for my interview. Now let me take you behind the scenes. It gets more impressive once you see Jarvis acting under the hood. So what happened when Jarvis received my initial question? Well, first, Jarvis asked for all the calendar events I might have for today. The system gave him the list of one event and gave him the notes as well. So look at that. Jarvis formulated a question. It's not really a perfect question, but we'll tackle this later with fine-tuning. I'm betting so much on fine-tuning, maybe too much. The response comes from the system after it did the actual RAG flow, meaning it converted Jarvis' question to a vector representation, and then it searched my vector database, I'm running Chroma, for any nodes with a similar meaning. And it found these two. It also told him that the semantic similarity is quite low, which is kinda expected. I only created my note-taking system a few days ago. I don't have a lot of notes. Also, the question wasn't that great, but that's actually good enough. That's enough information for Jarvis to formulate that answer to me. That's great. Actually, let's look at a later example where I asked Jarvis one more time for fine-tuning notes. The search query is a bit better, and it returned a note with a higher semantic similarity. I like to think that higher semantic similarity is likely what triggered Jarvis to recommend this node as the best node for my tech interview in the end. But who knows, whatever is happening inside LLM is still mysterious to us, right? Alright, so this was an agentic RAG, where in the normal flow, we don't even see the question formulated to the RAG system. AI checks the calendar, checks the notes, thinks of a question to a RAG system, and then all you can see is the final answer. This is an actual assistant work. That's really amazing. I know, the scenario is fake, of course, and Jarvis himself, he is not there yet. But this starts feeling real to me. I think I'm gonna have an actual AI assistant after all. See ya.